And now we can go into the examination room because we've not been in there yet. All right. Yeah, that was all talk time. I've done all the things, so it's quiet. The investigation must be over. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Ow. Eh? Whoa! Why did she slap him? Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true, what I heard? Is that like a selfish man? If anyone asks me, so I can, go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire, knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So chief of police can't. Will loan anyone 50 backs, even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're the boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room, floor plans added to the court records. Okay. This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not sure about the dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Hey, pal, security is high-tech around here? Okay, well, that was obvious. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here? What's sorry fishing pole? Here, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal, that's the metal detector, the one that led to the solving of that case on Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right, wow, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. That cheap-looking box. You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Okay. Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy caught was some sort of escape artist and got away. Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Right. What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. It looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use our testing fluid. I was already planning to. I just wanted to investigate everything else first. Jeez. What is the saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room? That doesn't seem like a good place to be getting paint. Look, this one's open and the red indicator light above the door is lit. That locker is coded with Detective Goodman's fingerprints. Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. So I must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from The Case. The Case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces? There? Another piece of SL9 evidence. Take a closer look. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before it was broke. You want to try and put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting that rest in place. Oh. That's the top and that's the top. Oh, I could just do this for all of them. Hey who, how you doing, lovely? Oh wait, it's this piece, isn't it? Yeah.
You scream like a fucking...
Hey, Jester. What? Definitely looks like that piece. Oh, what was that bit? Shit. Huh. Huh. Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still. It doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. No, it doesn't. Kind of understand how it got broken. Alright. Right, everything else, I think. Two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke. Remember the next time I make a jar. Good to know, good to know. Handprint. Why am I getting a reaction here? There is no reason for the murderer to touch a spot if he fled out the door. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What's this? It's called luminal testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where'd you get this, Emma? I always buy it in mail order. Well, I better not jot this down on the floor plans. I knew it. This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker, it's mine. It's yours. Please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. I guess that's just that. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. Not professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. Oh. So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day? That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're the boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. Gumshoe's so funny. Give me that spray. I'll borrow somebody to get it off you. Yeah, I know. He's very aggressive, but then he's like, well, actually, you know. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. Thank you, who? Hahaha, of course. I'm a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open? I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what they call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get to him to tell. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using an ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is ours. Our own. Who's the picture of in your locker? Detective Gumshoe? Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So why are you telling us? Can you open your locker again? Just beat the shit out of the locker every time. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me in all honesty. I'll try to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if they're out of... Yeah, no, I've already done that. Yeah, rare. Give me... Hey, Henry! I don't know what I haven't shown him and what I have shown him. So, this is some good stuff. Yeah, it's been a good time. Right. So personal collection. That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would your evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. So he doesn't care about that. It's fine. He doesn't care about that either. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors, so it was Goodman. Whoa. What is it? That second number. It's not your ID, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth? What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. Ooh. What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? That's fine. Doesn't care about that either. If you doesn't matter if you can't open it, they'll give you. If you can open it, they'll give you 50 cents. Note: the police department lacks faith in its lock system. After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office. Okay. Oh, wait, actually, was there any more talking for him? Yes. Now that was a bloody violent case. Violent, so it was a murder? A serial killing. A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right on the spotlight and started a rumour mill. Rumours? About forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh. What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SO9 incident, see? So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself. Okay. You don't have anything to talk about. Do you know this? Oh, he doesn't care about that evidence. Stupid cowboy man. Ugh. You should have a lot of monitors in here.
Wish I had a fucking whippersnipper.
Of course, I never misbehaving, Casey. I don't know what you mean. There's 8 cameras in the evidence room in all. 1 for each section. Which monitor shows the section where the crime took place? Why do you cows sit before the rain comes? It's not for men to know. Unless you're the security guard responsible. I thought we could potentially get the stuff from him. Leather jacket, leather pants, and leather. Those aren't pants. Those are chaps. And that's a poncho up there. Aha, poncho. I'm sure it sure looks cool, but the name is a little silly. This cactus sure is prickly. It must be real. Best keep your distance from Billy there. You're liable to get hurt. Billy? The cactus has a name. Billy, you're wearing your cowboy hat on your hand. Ah, my rawhide cowskin 10-gallon hat. I just picked that up, but Billy took a fancy to it. Looks like he got stuck on the spines and he couldn't get it off. This man's a bit delusional, isn't he? Look on the floor, it's a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. I just roped me a steer with this here lasso. What? It was our bowling. Moo, pow, moo. Detective Gumshoe, I presume? Right. Let's go back. It brings a good stand up all night because I needed to find out what happened. Yeah, we are behaving. People, did you enjoy time? Yeah, me and Rubes was good. We just sat and chilled and talked about a lot of stuff and life stuff. It was good. I think we both kind of want to do it more. It's just getting the time to do it. Is he back yet? No. Ugh. I have to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go. You take a look at this. Oh, no, okay, yeah. That's the same stuff as before. Never mind. Nothing to talk with him further. Oh, fuck's sake, man. How's it going, guys? Still enjoying it? Yeah, I mean, we're on the last trial. So yeah, it's going pretty good, though. I'll definitely play another one in the future. You know where I should be going now? Oh, I've already done this. Yeah. He said it's Edgeworth. You didn't really care about anything else along here. An achievement, my masturbation, you might say, but an art is always misunderstood, pal. Art? He was dancing proudly on the day of the award ceremony, but there were a lot of people coming and going after the ceremony, so they took the blue badger away for a while. Really? Why? Oh, they said it was just shameful or something like that. Shameful? I toiled night and day. I sympathize with the Detective Gumshoe, but I can see why they moved it. Oh. I feel like I need to go talk to Edgeworth, but how the fuck do I find Edgeworth at this point? He's pretty much busy. In his office? He's not there, though. There's something sticking out of here. Oh, I didn't see that. Looks like a shark. Guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of schlub. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently. How do you know? If you leave the things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under the trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, do it right in front of them, pal. Don't do it right in front of them. I mean, there's blood there and there and there. Yeah, I don't think he's there. He was apparently in that meeting thing. But, yes. Yeah, how are you, Casey? Casey was taunting me all day because Casey was playing Rivals without me and kicking ass. It was very unfair. Where is this bastard? Emma's OP right now. Yeah, I do like Emma. She's good. 1-2 though. Would have been free if you had me there. Just saying. Just saying. He didn't care about anything, did he? He doesn't have any more conversation pieces. Did I maybe miss something? What they want you to do. See over there, that's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. It's not, except for this. I already got that. Yes, I already got it. Okay, so I do already have that, never mind. What am I missing? I feel like we're supposed to have triggered something that would set Edgeworth back at his desk or whatever, but... he doesn't care about that. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, Powell got an award for diligence myself. Congratulations. I was wondering why the award is a shield and why it's broken. There's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently it's forgotten. Is that shield tied with this stupid vase? Look, there's a hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodsman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not like this. Blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. Shows evidence in the Alzheimer incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Maybe tomorrow can play Panda. This thing doesn't have a bottom. That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? Sure. Am I supposed to find out who the fuck was on this? Who also went there in at that time? We're supposed to talk to other detectives, right? But, like, there's not really any other detectives to talk to. Like, he won't talk to us about it. This guy's a prick. Don't like him. No attitude. I'm just sort of like, okay. Although I did find out I'm not doing anything after work tomorrow. So... you know? Well, I mean, other than having dinner, but like in the sense of... I wasn't sure if I'd be going for a walk after work, but I'm not. So... but I'll let you know about the chatter thing tomorrow as well. When I get a time. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh yeah, and although I can't stop fucking talking about it, my passport came today. Yippee! I'm an international man of mystery now. Uh, why can't I talk to him about this? If he was there at the scene, then surely he would have seen it. Who the fuck am I supposed to talk to? There's something I'm missing. Might look this up. I don't know. No. Who or Henry? Do you know what I need to do before I look this up? What am I missing? Or what do I need to do to get Edgeworth to move? Because I do not know. It didn't need to be so soon, by the way. I know it didn't need to be, but also the chance of talking with you on a call, so you know, duh. You have to check on the locker with the luminol. I've already done that though. With the bloody hand? Yeah, I did that. Fuck off. Oh! It won't let me spray it anymore. Yeah, but I already did that. It's already there. And then when we just talk about this, he just talks about something being left out. Did you collect the fingerprints? Yeah, it's on the map. Wait a minute. Yeah, see, look. It's over there. You can't see my cursor, but yeah. But like actual fingerprint. You can't collect the fingerprints. What do you mean? You spray it and then I examined it. You can't do anything more than that. What do you mean? I can only spray. See? Spray. Whoops, I clicked out of the game. There we go. Check the car. Yeah, I did that too. Where is it? Yeah, see? You check the phone? I mean, I got the muffler thing. Thank you. That was wrong with it. Everyone
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Check out mine, this princess. It's hard to come by, you know. Just a friend of mine. Stopping. We already know that it goes. I already know that it goes to the woman, though. We done that at the beginning. Yes, okay. These are all things I done ages ago. There's not really been anything I haven't investigated. Damn right. This isn't my first case. I did try spraying in here. There wasn't anything. See? 9. Nothing. The phone? What, presenting him in the phone? He doesn't care about that. The redial button? Oh. Ugh. Hang on a minute. No, no. Oh, fuck this cowboy, man. Yeah, Casey, if I had actually come over, there's no way in hell I'd let you pay for your own bubble tea. Just saying. Yeah, see, nothing. It won't let me do it. Go from memory, so don't judge me. I'm gonna fucking judge you. That's what you signed up for. That's why you're here. You're here to be judged. Showed the knife and trophy. I have indeed. I'll do it again. Wait, yeah, because it gives me the... wait. Oh, do it again. Fuck it. Yeah, because it's just that. We've already done this one a bit earlier. Knife. As a car stab with Mercedes knife. What would drive to do such a thing? Yeah, we already done this one too. He didn't really care about that either. And then... We got such a knife. Yeah, we already done this one too. So I'm not the SL9 conversation. Yeah. What? Why? Yeah, pretty much what Jester said. If I get bubble tea with someone, I buy them the bubble tea. It doesn't go the other way around. Well, if you go to your office, it can do. Talk again. Talk about what? Who though? There's no option. They're all ticked. Yeah. Not my first rodeo. And I said that because that stupid fucking cowboy. I mean, nothing happens if I go to the lawyer office. We're just here. No, come here. Anyway, present her the phone. According to Miss Starr's testimony, Miss Sky used her phone right after the murder. She called you, right? But she hung up right away, and it was a bad connection. I couldn't hear anything. Yeah, we've already done this one too. She did say something about a muffler, but got cut off. Yeah. She don't care about the phone either. What's I meant if someone's visiting, I'm the one getting them snacks and they can deal with it. Ah, fair enough. I mean, I would also buy you snacks if I visited Jester, so, you know. Tough shit. There's no and buts about that either. So, yeah. Uh-oh. I'm gonna look it up. Because I don't know anymore. Phoenix Wright. It looks like I've got all the evidence that I need at the moment, and I've talked to everyone. I can't think what the hell I need to do next, which is the problem. You don't have another cell phone? No, I've just got the one. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's this, and then this. Okay, I'm at. Okay. Done that one. Done that one. Parking ticket? Pretty sure I did. Hang on a minute, I'm missing something. Goodman's note. I've already got Goodman's note. Apparently I didn't get a glove. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That evidence from the case, you know. SL9. There's a tag on it. Rubber glove, okay. Go time. Was there something you needed to go doing? Just that Mr. Rose Inquiry Committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them the report of the day. It may help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but problems? No problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs... Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the very small fucking white item on the map. Jeez. I'm no saint. I'm off, pal, later. Fucking hell. I fucking scanned this bit with my cursor. It did not come up yellow. I'm innocent. All of your objections are abstained. can suck a nut. I'm gonna go see Edgeworth. Right. If he's not in his fucking office... He's here. Cool. What's the butler doing here? Guess my apologies. It's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Oh, yeah. Also, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm pretty sure, and people might say I'm wrong, and in which case, get fucked, you're wrong. But Mr. Edgeworth and Phoenix definitely have forbidden love. Just saying. Just saying. The way they act to each other, There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Look at him! He can't look at us. He loves us. He wants us. He has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? You mean one of the most obvious ships in the game, Pandan? I don't know. How about someone that's never played any of the games or know nothing about them, Jester? I'm feeling sassy today. You're all getting it. But I don't know. I literally know nothing about Phoenix Wright, so I have no clue. So it could very well be though. You're probably right. But yeah, I just like how I like literally without knowing anything about Phoenix Wright, I'm like, no, those two's definitely like me and who were talking about it, like who would initiate and whatnot. There was stuff doing on this couch to the left of him as well, was what we said. Oh, cheese. Get cheesed. We're getting what? You get me. Gonna get. Oh. Spray me in a cell. How dare you? Hose me. I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think the whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Look at him. He can't look at us. The only time he looks us dead in the eyes is when we consummate. Okay, right. Anyway, let's just get on. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communication error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe what I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Garnt. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still, well, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Hope you play other games as well. You can say, see Cadone, it's full glory. Okay. Right. What can I question him with? Got a knife? I know you probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who received the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. He must be talking about his father's murder in the elevator. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Shoe? Oh. Okay. Okay. Chew? Oh, right. I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into that evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less? Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The plot thickens. The chief of police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was sold, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. What if that screwdriver was used to break open his car? Because the lock was broken on his trunk. And for once, we're on about his actual car trunk and not his ass. But yes, anyway, stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Okay, sure. Whatever. Right. What's up with this vase? Right. Oh, no, he doesn't care about that either. Yeah. Yeah. Glove? Yeah. There's so much evidence in this trial. God damn. Right, who said the trophy? But I'm pretty sure we've already done the trophy conversation. No, he don't care about the trophy anymore. I already got that answered then. Cool. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was Deputy Chief of Police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case. How dare you? I couldn't even lick the cheese! Yeah, I've been released. Oh, okay. Thank you. The wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why there's a Deputy Chief of Police on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminal testing fluid, Well then, you might have to use this. Might have use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. So that's why you were all telling me to take fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, no need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Yeah, that is a point. Why didn't you give it to the detective? Poor detective. No one trusts him. Let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Was there a fingerprint here or a handprint here? I can't remember. Not everyone gaslighting you into thinking you could have done it already. I know, right? And then has the sass at me because I done stuff. The absolute despicable audacity of some people in the world. I swear to God. No, I swear to dog. That's right. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about today. Apparently I'm in just some fucking weird ass mood that's just sassy as fuck to everyone. Okay. Anywho. Ads are starting in a minute. Our investigation turned on a suspicious handprint. I think I said up, but I said on. Here is the blood on the air detector's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Enhance! Enhance! Oh, enhance. Let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger. Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint, so let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest point. Really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Don't have to tell me twice. That one. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder. Huh? How do you do that? With enter, see? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Hence the powder is spread. Just blow away the excess. How do I do that? With E? Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles of a birthday cake, see? Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. Okay. You just pour the powder on thick and blow the extra. Those are the basics. Okay. I don't think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Pretty. No, I can't get that bit. Right, now where is the fingerprint? Oh! Wait, you did actually have to cover the whole of it. Shit, never mind. This is something like a fingerprint? Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes. It's scientific evidence investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're here, why don't you look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. The thumb? The blood? What about that? Yo, we found a maze! Yeah, print so clear, it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is. True. Always know who the finger belongs to. I guess she's right. Sappy mood, not as in mushy, but you being sassy and yappy. Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean, I tend to get sassy when I'm in a good mood, but I feel more aggressively sassy than usual today. I'm gonna point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprint we're most likely find in this evidence locker? Wait, can we use his fingerprint to open his locker? Aha, so these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something's wrong, Mr. Wright. You gave me this. So what? Look, I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You got to roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Okay. Oh, I never mind. Wait, no, it was here though. It was here. It was on this. There wasn't another handprint. What do you mean? Right. There's a handprint here. Okay. Oh, so I had to do it like that? I couldn't just use it straight away? That's the spirit, but I have to warn you about something first. What? There are area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So does that mean no prints? Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Enhance. Oh. Well, I clicked out of the game. I'm confused, huh? What? How am I supposed to check for prints? Ah. Look at that cocaine. I like how this game was pretty simple. Then for the last episode, they were like, we're going to make this game, like this one, the most absolute fucking complicated part. And it's like, why weren't these features in the game beforehand? This was an exclusive case. Oh, I guess that makes sense. It really was like, yo, how can we make Phoenix Wright better? And then they're like, yeah, but the rest of the game kind of like dwindles a little bit in comparison now. Story's still good though, don't get me wrong. It's just feels like this, if they had this stuff in the previous episodes, it would have been banging. Whose are they? Whose is it? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall? Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints added to the court record? That's got to be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction, the blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints? A wiped bloodstain. This is the hardest in the justice is in the justice for the case. So yeah. Yeah, missing mechanics that went around, yeah. Why did Officer Marshall? Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued! Although, I have a problem with this. Meekings told us about a videotape. Why did we not look for that at all? I don't understand. But also, I need to, before we do the next part, I believe Officer Meekings is in it, and I may have gave him a voice yesterday, and I can't remember what it sounds like, so I need to go back and listen to it so I can remember how to do it. Give me a minute. I'm going to mute myself so I can hear. Okay, I kind of remember how to do it. I maybe will do it. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know why he's the only character I gave a fucking voice to. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? So how'd it go? It says Mr. Wright suspects the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as you are. Miss Skye, we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact? That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. We get to spend time with our love in the courtroom. Get to point fingers at each other and shout. Oh yeah, that was another thing me and Who said. Was that they initiate sexy times by pointing and shouting objection. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think I know what happened. I don't know who, possibly Marshall, but someone killed Goodman in the evidence room. That's why there's so much blood. They used the screwdriver to break into Edgeworth's car, and then that's why he was then given the screwdriver, and he wouldn't have known he was in the car. But I still don't get where the whole Lana Skye stabbing him comes from. But I think someone's trying to plant and get Edgeworth out. Yeah. And the body eventually appeared... Yeah, I read that. Wow. This is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Okay, Phoenix, sure. I refuse to believe Edgeworth wouldn't want to shoot himself if Phoenix asked him to do that, though. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like he could have a soft spot for him. You know? Seems to be the only person that he'll be, like, vulnerable with. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Like Phoenix. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness to the day of the stand. Cause the suspect of the murder. Oh god, here we go. You mean the so-called murderer? I gotta try and remember. I heard myself do it, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to recreate it the same. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mike Miggins, sir. My occupation is that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us you are a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. What? I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you would call a part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions no doubt can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekings. Yes, sir. Give us your report on the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they undo to you. That's the Meeking's family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and colleague helped you regain consciousness? Yes, sir. He knocked me the upside of the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. We will press him so hard. Mr. Meekings, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring the recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant my officers were given special tasks but not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. This creepy fuck. I was so sure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I reallocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here round my neck. So then, your ID number should also be listed on here, right? There it is! I found it! This one's the right one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh. But the number 4989596 is shown being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I reallocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went in to get him after everything shut down. I see. So it was during that second time when... Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging on in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got the gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man boy's collar. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into Kung Fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in the sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in the face, sir. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke him up, the witness is about 5:30. He hit me right in the head too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can rest easy now. fully believe he isn't exaggerating the octopus moves. No, he most definitely is. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekings? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Guard delivered it to me just this morning, sir. How did he not get in? Well, so that's the weird thing. He got in, Detective Goodman also went in, but the way he's phrasing it is that he saw someone suspicious on the camera, but surely he would have seen him walk past and go into the room because he was at the guard station. Delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir! That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. I mean, whoever woke him. Yeah, true. True. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like a communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim! Oh wait, no, that's the wrong person. Shit. Never mind. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder? Just what are we getting ourselves into? Not yeah, just that George is just mocking him. This is the thing fucking dancing. Okay. It conveniently covers his face the whole time, huh? I don't like this Five Nights. Yeah, everyone literally in the game has made comments that it's not very good. It's creepy. This doesn't prove anything. It shows there was a kerfuffle, but not an actual full-on murder. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Yes. Well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness testimony will suffice. If that is all right with you, Officer Meekings. Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker with required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him! No one else could have unlocked it! I need a drink. His voice takes a toll. Sweet water. What's this about fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but every contradiction begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Right. First, I just need to double-check the video. Can I rewatch it? I noticed something. Yeah, it was Jack Marshall. Because if you noticed, at the beginning of the video, there's no if you look on the very left, the one where we got the fingerprint, there's nothing sticking out of it. But there is at the end of the video. Something sus for sure. He fully on embodies Octodad to get through life. He does. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? If you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir. But I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when I'm talking with them, you see? Mood. Mood. Yeah, that's a good trait for that police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Well, why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing, or... Meetings. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best mood. Now, please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife at you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive if it was him. Right. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all the kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. I missed that game. It was absolutely shit, but amusing. Yeah, no, I'm fully with you on that. It was very fun. How do you know that information? I've had rumours, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in the case. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was kind of his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can be testified after this, sir. Yeah, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? There's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. That's not an objection. He would want me to point it out. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Yeah. Romantic troubles. You cannot convince me he's ever got any action. That's the trouble. He doesn't. Or maybe he gets too much. We never know. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. Does he get paid enough for hookers? We don't know that. It's possible. He is on the force. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look at the... Be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too... please don't play it too many times, sir. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction? Alright, The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point, what you are looking at for, is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may have not been Detective Goodman. Oh, yeah. Phew. What do you mean? That was it. I'll place him under arrest, sir. Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. No, what do I do? What do you mean? Literally, it was that. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Is it this? Yes. Oh, I guess not. Is it not the pure thing that shows that the person had to open another fucking locker? Back to beginning. What am I looking for? It was there. What do you mean? Yeah, but I pointed that out. If it's the locker's not got something in it, but it does at the end when it could have done it the other way, that's fucking bullshit. Is that what you're pointing out? The locker, no, that locker. Wait, what? It looks exactly the same. Oh, the red light. This video has got to be this. Officer Meekings. Sure, do you mean me, sure? As I understand it, the locker apparatus... Why is this music still playing? Apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle or sensor, reach your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released. According to my memory, my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with us. Why is the music still playing? Please. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order, order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker's locker controlled by electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensors? Something jam the sensor? There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Please. Is it maybe the glove? I don't know, that wouldn't make any sense, would it? But why is that? But it's such a weird thing that the glove is there. Oh, the music's not there. Oh, blissful. What's this? Something's white fell out of the locker? But sure! It's been my experience that things fall out when the doors are opened. I often fall out. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? You know what inserted means, Judge. I don't mind the video playing, I just don't want the music. That white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But sure, by insulation, you don't mean... I think I finally got the figures out. The screwdriver! Very well, would the defense please present the relevant evidence? Just gonna save the game just in case. What was the insulator that was stuck between the door? Give me that fucking screwdriver. Behold, this was stuck in the locker door. Huh? Oh. Oh. I found this near the locker, thin rubber glove, but the screwdriver would have been cool. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. Screwdriver is metal, so it's conductor. Yeah. Stupid science. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekings? Sure. It would appear so, sir. Order, order, order. So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. Oh. I was like, okay, but there's yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but that doesn't make a case exciting. Don't be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility is nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekings, please testify about this. Alright, I'm gonna need another drink. Apparently, I'm hungry because my belly's rumbling away, which doesn't happen that often. Right. Sir, me, sir. I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. You mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detectives had used his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record here, right here, Your Honor. 515 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. Yeah, your hair spike is fuck anyway. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most of them were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. Is that card hanging from your neck one of the ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Believable. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed. Let it be noted that... Oh, yeah, shit. Let me see. Yes, that would be Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Mummy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong colour. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let's continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, it must be so difficult for him. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you? Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth is to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Wait one moment, Officer Meekings. I'm not gonna wait, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half complete, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe there's something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does all this mean? It can only mean that one thing: he doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekings encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order. Does this prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekings encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of a murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing out your finger around. This isn't going to end well. Well. It seems you finally realised exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defence has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used a murder weapon. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekings encountered, and where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana. What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this? Object. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not, but I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has only proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. However, it cannot be said that that is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination to the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witness for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have to reason to believe knows the truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you find to testify, what is his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Prepare! Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed? Yeah. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. I was about to say in secession. Court is in secession. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the only one who knows everything. Emma? You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making me a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey, 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 hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay, so have you brought what I asked? Oh, oh-ho, oh-ho-ho, oh-ho-ho-ho, oh-ho-ho-ho-ho-ho. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who would ask me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you. The Chief Prosecutor were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I've brought it to your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's a classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No, no, Lana. That's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Alright, bye. See you. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Garn, and Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file. Alright, give me. Yeah. Victims: Jason Knight, Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bays, Neil Oh, Marshall! Could that be connection to the detective? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. To be continued. Cool. All right, before we jump into anything else, I'm going to take a BRB quickly just to stretch my legs, go to the toilet, and we should have ads in like 5 or so minutes as well. So, yeah, I'll be right back and then we'll carry on with this. So, I'll see you in a minute.
Why did I die? Oh no. Are you okay? Didn't know we were playing with a seal, okay.
How is your hand? Have you rested it up?
Man, you look like a
Could you imagine if they put Vin Diesel in Dead by Daylight? He could have so many weird Fast and Furious perks. He could have one where it's called like Helpful Brother, and it's just Paul Walker's ghost helping him. I'm sorry, that was dark. I kind of.
They were quite nice to jiggle.
Oh yeah, they always are. Always pay attention to the dice.
Always.
Mm-hmm. Who fucking done that? Who smashed my back in?
What now?
Yeah, exactly. You all heard. You all heard. Someone smashed my back in and sent me flying.
How many strokes did they do it in there?
Oh my god.
I don't know. It was a fucking hefty struff. Oh, there you are.
You're, kind of moist, huh?
Excuse me? Just fucking yank it. Oh! Oh! A codfish! Yeah. It's an ugly butt. Yeah, we look kind of fun. Damn! The butt is... It's just so funny seeing her run.
I'm on your 6, Goose. I'm on your 6.
So they have lethal.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
And it's either
I'm coming.
Nemesis or Wesker.
Oh. Oh, I'm coming.
Jesus.
Well, if they got lethal, they just saw me and Zan fucking about
Yeah,
for a couple of seconds.
It's
No one gives magic touches like KC. Keep talking. Isn't it funny how love just kind of smacks you right between the eye? Oh, smacks, not snacks. I mean, love can snack, I suppose. KC found him.
Well, yeah, she heard whip and she was fucking right there.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I should turn around.
Yeah.
Let me turn this car around.
I'm stuck.
You know, this map is a lot. We played this map before. What are you doing?
He heard the slap.
I kind of don't understand him. He heard me slapping your thigh. He's like, oi! None of that.
involved.
He was like, let me slap them legs.
What them thighs do?
Whatever you want.
He's trying to get down under.
Oh my god. Again? Yeah, they're not too bad. Well, they are quite sour though. I think I could get down with these. Why are they so sour though? I do like sour shit though.
What the actual fuck? Seems like our guy had.
Why did she land in that position?
I require finding help. Don't worry, I'm gonna bite his shit.
He has light bombs.
Oh.
Bitch.
Casey, no. Go do the gen.
No.
I've got this. I've got
Yes,
this.
boss.
Light bombs. What a bitch.
Shoot.
Panda.
No, wait! I thought I had this. He got me wedged between his butt cheeks.
Ooh.
Mm.
No!
What?
Oh, the fucking audacity of this guy.
Have you never like played like the old Street Fighter games? I am back. Hello. Had any unripe raspberries? I think that was like the first time I ever had raspberries. I didn't know if they were ripe or not. I don't know. This tasted alright though. I wouldn't complain. I've never had them since, but they were alright. They were alright. Cool. Right, anyway, back on with the court case. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand, the officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of the guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. In plain old English. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was to Street Side Saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wow, okay. Wait a minute. What did you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks and the evidence lockers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses. Now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? Oh. This bitch, shut up. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Alright, let's press him. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are known to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatics, but isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? You want to say yes or no? Yeah. Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. Yet we have his fingerprint. How does this guy avoid being fired? You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how the bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors of the locked handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? What were you doing at a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vongol's sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? He said spaghetti! Spaghetti. Not noodles, sir. Although they are basically the same. But still. Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? It's also not that difficult to feign incompetence. Yeah, true. But if he is incompetent and he doesn't realise about the locks, then he wouldn't know that he's easily found out because they only lock to his fingerprint, right? So I guess it comes in both ways. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner, or as you call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My still horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently, your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Yeah, he does it a lot as well. Let's save. I want to do the locker thing, but I don't think that's going to be it. Does? Yeah, that's not it. Okay, this is why we saved. This is why we saved. I mean, I know about... I mean, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that it is you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime, and yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint. Listen, real good partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however. A luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprints were completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. How would you know the murderer had gloves? Wait, hang a minute. What? You mean the victim? Eh? Wait a minute. The witness explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt. I think I just misread that. Let's make a question down the witness. Alright, okay, hang a minute. I will press on everything, but I would... Hang a minute. But we already proved that there was no murder at the evidence place. But also, how does he know the murderer was wearing gloves? If he wasn't there. That's because you, how did you pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective, the locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Court record. One of them just happened to be at the same... okay, alright, so that one. So then, what about that? It wasn't mine, it's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. Murderer touched locker. The chance. The chances of that happening are 1 million to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1 million to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get a reward for me with a mere fingerprint. You want to know why? I'm not saying their fingerprints are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day, kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. He's right, although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what hominins have to do with this. Okay, even with the prints, they're perfectly in line with the other part of the handprint. How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There were bloodstains at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get to the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood is in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and it's this. Security tape. So long as my trial isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. But we know it is. Getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully going into cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Continue your testimony. You mean by that? You want me to tie me into this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. Actually, Marshall. Yeah, we didn't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Oh, now it's my time to shine with the fucking thing I tried pointing out before. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. I'm so sorry, I've got to fucking hear this song again. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out, that was a witness's, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Oh, the white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened the locker when the camera was turned away. Rewind faster. Order, order. It would seem that this only... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. We literally just said that they're fingerprint locked. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say open that locker, now prove it. A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Order, order, order. Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question. What is he now? A bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Can we have a look at these floor plans? There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right. There's only one possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was the Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Officer Marshall was standing right here. there, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekings witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekings did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when he confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes. And how did Detective Goodman respond? He simply pulled out a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, then his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekings would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're going to have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have heard evidence proving I dressed up as a victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't. Why does he keep hitting on the judge's beard? Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Meekins dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I'm just going to save again. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ugh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would have been what Ma used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for a proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might have been discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker? According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his locker for some unknown reason. The fact that the white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is key to our unanswered question. I don't have any evidence. The video is only shot. Again? I mean, the crime, the witness opened the locker, put away with the white cloth. Hang on a minute. There's a rubber glove. Could it be a pair of gloves? Could it be the glove? Well, what do you have to say to that? Alright, partner. You really want to know the reason I had to open my locker? Why? So I could stuff you in there, huh? I'm sure the world would be a better place with you sent off to the boneyard. Unfortunately, unsolved cases can't be stored in the evidence room. Now, an unsolved case? Shit! What? Evidence room. That's why my shot to open his locker. Oh, it's going to be something to do with Meekings, isn't it? White cloth? I don't understand. Noticing anything? No! Oh, I pressed on. I didn't mean to fucking do that. Shit. Wait, I think I know what it is. I think it's the coat. Yeah. For some reason, you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. No, I don't know what to end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you are happy with Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right, it seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take it out of the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you? But the only thing I still don't understand, traces of large quantity of blood were found on the floor in the evidence room. If no one was murdered there, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood to such a small donation. When you say it, you mean, do you even have to ask partner? That's not an incident. 2 years had passed since that case was closed. It was going to be completely end with the transfer that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the case lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? We know. That day was my last chance. That's why I saw the detective. I did just like that. Okay. Why did you disguise yourself as Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to force a security camera and a detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing out what the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because the rubber gloves just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins, so I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on an Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think of this little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry that it turned out that way. With me knocking him out and everything? By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think I would make such a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If it had all gone planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, there wasn't a murder in the evidence room at 5:15. But the blood found at the same scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown at the tape is me and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Far away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case, this one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Can't just forget this, you know why. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for these crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he's deserved a sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's still something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the file. Alright. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name, Marshall, is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Now I remember Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the S9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed, and the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gaunt, the Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arranged and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, but at least according to police records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in the fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what says the record. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day of the SR9 incident case could be reopened. Not satisfied with his resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Marshall confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. That thing that happened, chance never ceased to amaze. Exactly the same time the murder at the prosecutor's office, the fake murder was going to at the police department. Arraigned? Oh. Chance has got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was a real one, which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial, which is why we've examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me this boy's got the draw on your partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye, and a testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely uncontestable. If you have a response, make a single word or less. Ah! I rest my case. It seems his trial's reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera tape really was fake, but I didn't realise that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, a time for a verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Objection. I'll hold it yet. Your Honor, wait. Emma, the defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SR9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it, the name of both Skye sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That only left one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So, I ran over there and looked at it again. Did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? Fucking save this game. It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still. If you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on here? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. It's not on the tapes? Oh yeah, true. It's pretty defensive and simply trying to buy time, right, Mr. Wright? I don't see it. It's something I can use. The question is, which... Good point. As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with a buckshot. That is, so long as they face in the general direction. Since Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. Oh. It's no use. The more evidence there is, the greater the chance of me being wrong. I don't know what evidence looks like on the day of the crime. Oh! The Blue Badger! What about the piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of the proof? Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So? So watch what happens when we put him here. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at the spot on the locker. What? So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically, Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean that the blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched boulder dash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. I love Edgeworth's shock face. It's pretty good. On February 21st in the police department evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by a security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. So I could still be right with that bloke being killed in here and then planted. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claims. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? The defense claimed that the prior to the Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who is posed as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof shows the murder took place. Is there anyone place evidence that can show that? Now then, will the defense please present this evidence? Maybe 420. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter, and in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card recorder. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's say, here, 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Miles Edgeworth? Just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out that it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. All the sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of this card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in there with 777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number this is. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of their ID card, at least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher, someone who is so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person. It's the police chief, the chief of police. But that's ridiculous. I'll not finish talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I'll take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate if you will keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay, let me ask you a question. Yes? No, not you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not that. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Ooh. Do you need the witness to repeat the question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did. Lana. I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. Oh, fuck. Take care, who? See? That's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order, 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 order. Lana's remarks, the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. Would have wait until next day. Oh, actually, this is actually a good point for me to wrap it up. I can really only tend to play these games for like 3 hours, being completely honest. But yeah, no, this is a good time for me to wrap up. Because I am also fucking hungry and my stomach's rumbling like a beast. Oh. Darn. I know. I know. That one. Yes. But yeah, I can't, for some reason, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I can, like, play about, like, 3 hours of this game, and then my throat just starts getting... I'm just not good at, like, talking consistently or reading for, like, that sort of, like, length of a period. But, I mean, hopefully, if we play more of these, I'd eventually just sort of, like, get used to it over time. I don't know. I don't know. Who can we raid? Oh, Ben's on playing some Rebirth. We can raid Ben. I haven't got to raid Ben in a while. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream, and I hope everyone enjoyed the company. As usual, there are all the links. There is no stream tomorrow, as Rubes might be doing a solo one, so it'll be me relaxing. But yeah, I think that's about it. But yeah, I hope everyone has a lovely rest of your Wednesday and a good Thursday. Don't forget, Friday is a early stream and long one during the day because of Easter. So I'll be back on Friday morning with more of this, and we'll finish it. But yeah, otherwise, take care, stay amazing, and I'll see you all next time.